Team Fortress 2! One of the greatest games of all time, and the entire reason I got into first-person shooters at all. So, for all of you young nooblets out there who just aren't sure which class to start out playing, here's an early Christmas present. And for all of you seasoned veterans, masters of the game, perhaps you might be interested in my thoughts, even if they aren't as revolutionary to you as they will be to someone who's never played this game before. So, on to the actual purpose of this video. Which class is best? Or, more accurately, which class has the lowest skill floor and which class has the highest skill ceiling? This is a more complicated question than you might think, because I'm not just talking about which class is easiest, oh no. I'm talking about both ends of that spectrum. Not only the ease of use, but also what a class can do when running at maximum output capacity. I'm talking about which class can accomplish the most things in a game of Team Fortress 2, as well as which classes are more capable with lower skill requirements. This all might sound really complex, so I'll slim it down for you. If you just want to have fun without having to train 24/7 to up your skills, use the bottom of the list. The bottom of the list is for more casual gamers. However, if you want to push the game's limits and do things that could shock the world, or become a renowned dueler like Banny, the legendary TF2 professional player, then the top of the list is more your speed. Although I warn you, the further up this list you go, the harder this game gets. The class selection screen in this game is actually the difficulty setting, if you can believe it. And I'm here to explain the settings, so all of you can choose your path properly. So, without further ado, I now present the men of TF2, going from easiest to hardest. Number 9.
I am heavy weapons guy.
Ah, yes, the inevitable number 9 slot. Somebody had to go here, and I can't think of a better candidate than Father Russia here. What makes him worthy of the designation easiest class in TF2? It's simple, really, because heavy is simple. You spawn, you trudge out to the battlefield, you spin down your massive gun, and you rip the enemy several new ones with an unending hail of bullets until either you die or the game ends. Heavy is as close as you can get to a beginner's class, because even a little nooblet can accomplish quite a bit with Heavy at the helm. As long as you take care of your noob, he can wind up his minigun like a clockwork teddy bear of death, and change the weather forecast from slight chance of rain to slight chance of you're dead! Now, this is not to say that there is no difference between a good Heavy and a bad one, because there really is. A good Heavy with precision minigun tracking, good positioning, and basic game sense can mow down entire teams of unprepared enemies, whereas a new Heavy usually needs a touch more babysitting. It's not bad to need babysitting, literally everyone's been there. But at the same time, if a Heavy knows to give his sandwich to his medic instead of eating it himself when he's already being healed, let's just say the difference is obvious. That being said, Heavy is here because even a new player with no game sense at all can still dominate at this class if his team takes care of him. That is why the big Russian goofball takes the number 9 spot on this list. Number 8. It's time to talk about Pyro, one of my personal favorite classes in the game. I don't know, something about hearing the screams of my enemies as their skin and flesh melts off their charred bones is calming to me. Who knew turning an army of people into a pile of ash could be so relaxing? At any rate, Pyro was originally my first pick for easiest class in the game, but he stole the number 8 spot. Why? Because even though both Heavy and Pyro can be played without really aiming, Pyro has a touch more nuance than most people give him credit for. There are, of course, the dreaded combo moves that make Pyro so dangerous. There's the Phlogistinator that rustles some serious jimmies. But all in all, I think what sold me on Pyro being harder than Heavy is the fact that he requires a lot more game sense than Heavy does. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that Pyro, unlike Heavy, is an ambush class. He does well when behind or above his enemies. His flamethrower is very short-ranged, and any sniper can render a Pyro basically useless. He does a ton of damage, sure, but if you just run at people, half the time you're gonna die. The combos I mentioned earlier, combined with his ability to reflect rockets and grenades, raise his skill floor just enough to be higher than heavies. He can be a powerhouse in the hands of someone who knows what they're doing, and because of that, the Pyro is number 8. Number 7.
If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight. Sun Tzu said that, and I'd say he knows a little more about fighting than you do, pal, because he invented it.
Here we go. Soldier, the most common main in TF2. Or at least that's what the internet told me. Soldier is kind of hard to place, because while his skill floor is relatively low, his skill ceiling is massively high, leading to some confusion as to where to put him. In general, blasting people to bloody bits with a bazooka is pretty easy to understand. Just point and shoot, right? Well, yeah, but there's a far larger gap between a good soldier and a great soldier, and that is because of the fabled rocket jump. Invented by Abraham Lincoln, rocket jumping is the technique of shooting the ground with your rocket launcher so that the explosion propels you into the air. This generally does damage to you as well, so don't try it if you're badly hurt. This changes everything once you know how to do it, because the normally slow soldier becomes a terrifyingly mobile threat once he starts to rocket jump. There are some people who have truly perfected this art and can chain multiple rocket jumps off one another to sail across the entire map in seconds, drop out of nowhere, and hit you with a shovel as they land, usually killing you instantly. I cannot do this. I only really know the basics and am still learning when it comes to the super fast momentum that he's capable of. But in any case, it's pretty obvious that even if his initial setup may seem simple, he has a ton of fun tricks up his sleeve. Which is why the soldier is in number 7. Number 6.
Boom. Headshot.
I remember a simpler time when I didn't think an Australian could be so scary. But then I installed TF2 and got my head blown off from 2 miles away. Number 6 on this list has to go to Sniper, the Outback long-distance killer. So, how hard is it to play Sniper? Well, that's a simple question, easily answered by another question. Can you click on heads? If you struggle to do that, you will struggle playing Sniper, because that's everything that he does. Sniper is less about flashy movement and timing, and more about precision and patience. He doesn't take a ton of mechanical skill per se, obviously aside from aim, but he does require you to be able to sit still and look at one thing for a really long time. Some people do not have the patience for that. I play Sniper, sure, but I use the Huntsman generally, a bow and arrow designed for ADHD people who cannot sit still and want to be on the front lines. In general, the reason Sniper is this high above everything else is the type of positioning you have to have, and the patience. You have to know where people are going to walk, and when, and you have to be able to click on their heads when they show up on your scope. He may not be the hardest character in the game, but he's a few leaps above what we've seen so far, which is why the Sniper takes the number 6 spot. Number 5. The Medic. The trusty doctor here to save your life and steal your kidneys. Medic is a lot more fun than most people give him credit for. After all, why help others kill when you can kill the enemy yourself? Well, actually, it feels really good to watch your heal target kill everyone in sight. A heavy medic combo can mow over enemy teams like grass, and it's pretty cool to be the one keeping the team alive. So, what makes Medic so incredibly difficult that he takes the 5th spot? Well, it's actually not enough to only heal your teammates, even though that is what the class is for. No, you have to know how to spread heals evenly, when is the right time to pop Uber Charge, and you have to know where everyone is at all times, and you have to make split-second decisions in the heat of combat on which teammate to heal and when. It's an incredibly tactical way to play that requires so much on-the-spot thinking and decision-making. You have to be smart, and fast, and know your weaknesses, and constantly check behind you for spies, because in any serious game, you are the enemy team's number 1 target. They kill you, and they suddenly have a massive advantage. So anytime you play Medic seriously, you will get targeted a lot. You have to pair up with a teammate who knows how to protect you. Otherwise, you're a walking billboard that advertises, "Shoot me now!" Number 4.
I don't even know where to start with you. I mean, do you even know who you're talking to? Yo, what's up?
How could I talk about TF2 without mentioning the Scout, everybody's least favorite boy wonder from good old Boston? Yeah, Scout mains get a bit of hate, mainly due to how annoying it can be to fight a good Scout. But in any case, the number 4 spot on this list had to go to Scout. He's honestly one of the most well-rounded characters in the game, I think. Playing Scout, and really every character after him on this list, is not for casual gamers at all. Scout is hard. You have to be good at dodging, good at double jumps, you have to know when to fight and when to run, and there's just so much mechanical skill involved that unless you're willing to devote 10 to 15 hours into learning this class, you probably won't do super well. Scout is fast. Fast with a shotgun. He just runs and shoots, and nobody, absolutely nobody in this game can run faster than a Scout. Never happens. The difference in speed is staggering. It's really noticeable. It feels really good to be able to run from one end of the map to the other like some psychotic speedster with a shotgun. It actually feels like time is slowing down because of how much faster than everybody else you are. So that means if you can dodge well and aim well, you're practically untouchable. With that being said, a new player will have a rough time doing much with this character because he's just so fragile. Thanks to all that, he captured the 4th spot on this list. Number 3.
What makes me a good demo man? If I were a bad demo man, I wouldn't be sitting here discussing it with you now, would I?
Demo Man, the grenade-bouncing ordnance expert who was too drunk to be in battle, but nobody felt like stopping him from showing up. So, dang, Demo made it to my top 3. How did that happen? I don't know, but he ain't leaving. Now, it is possible to just throw grenades around randomly, and you will kill some people doing that, but it's really a lot more effective if you know what you're doing. Armed with an arcing grenade launcher that fires unpredictable explosives, and a sticky bomb launcher to set traps, Demo Man is certainly more tactical than you would think. In order to make full use of this class, you have to reliably hit your grenades and make good use of the sticky bomb launcher, which many demos fail to do. Sticky bombs are powerful enough to instantly kill any class in the game, even if they have a medic. A rampaging heavy? Dead. An oblivious scout? Dead. An engineer who's busy upgrading all his buildings to level 3? Oh, he is so dead. Demo is really punishing to play for new players. His grenade launcher fires in weird trajectories, and his sticky bomb can take a few tries to get it right as well. But if you spend some time practicing and get to understand the feel of the character, you can seriously blow stuff up. And how could I talk about Demo without talking about one of the most popular playstyles of all, Demo Knight? That's right, you can swap out your explosive toys for a sword and shield and just go full-on Aragorn instead of Arathorn on the opposition. Who needs guns? I don't. That's fun. It's just fun. That's all I can really say about that. Number 2.
Hey, look, buddy. I'm an engineer. That means I solve problems. Not problems like what is beauty, because that would fall within the purview of your conundrums of philosophy. I solve practical problems.
You know, I really respect the engineer. Everyone else in this game is either a psychopath or just rude, but Engie? He's just a hard-working Chexian doing his daily duties on the battlefield. Engineer has a pretty high skill floor. Most engineers just cluster all 3 of their buildings into one spot until a demo man wipes them up with a few sticky bombs, and it takes some real awareness to know where your stuff should go. Teleporter entrance, teleporter exit, dispenser, and sentry gun. These are the things you can build and upgrade, and they all help your team. The teleporter can fill the enemy's fortress with teammates, the dispenser can ration out health and ammunition to all who need it, and the sentry gun is a massive distraction that causes the entire enemy team to focus on it until it gets destroyed. As an engineer, the attention is always on you, like with medic, so to survive you have to have your wits about you. Playing engineer isn't necessarily about getting kills or capturing the objective so much as it is putting your buildings in the right spot at the right time in order to swing the game in your favor. Engineer, like medic, is a constant target for spies, so being aware of them at all times is going to be a lifesaver. Unless you decide, screw the team, I am going to play Battle Engineer. If you do play Battle Engineer, it's a lot like Scout. Just aim your shotgun well and you should be alright. Number 1. If you ask any TF2 player with a modicum of experience what the scariest thing in the game is, most of them will agree on one thing. The paranoia of knowing there is an enemy spy on the other team. Armed with a disguise kit, Spy can transform himself into any member of your team. He could be any one of us. But that isn't the scary part. The scary part is the backstab. The backstab is an instant I win button in any fight. You die in one hit if he gets you from behind. Insta-death! No way to prevent it except turning around every 5 seconds and checking every member of your team. There are so many things about Spy that make him nearly impossible to play. Yes, impossible. You have to learn all the side routes and every nook and cranny of every map so that you can pass unseen. You have to learn how to use the disguise kit convincingly to fool the enemy into believing you're one of them. You have to know who to stab and when to do so. You have to be able to run away as soon as the enemy catches on. It is a long, slow, grueling process to learn Spy, but once you do, nothing is more rewarding. Here's why. Spy is not, even a little bit, about kills. He is not about having the best kill-to-death ratio. Spy is about psychological mind games and increasing the paranoia among the enemy until they can nearly not even play. You can drive people insane as Spy if you do it right. Keep doing this until you see an opening, and then strike! Spy is like a snake. You keep coiled up most of the time, and then BAM! Kill one person and vanish. It is so fun to screw with people's minds in this game, but it takes so much effort and skill to pull the stunt off. Is it kind of evil to drive people nuts to the point where they can't even play the game properly anymore? Yeah. Is it also fun as all heck? Double yeah! To be fair, once Spy has been found out, he is really fragile. No mobility, low health pool, and everyone hates you, so you die a lot. But that's okay. You can just come back from the dead. And that concludes my list of the top 9 hardest TF2 characters. And holy crap, this was fun. I really want to do this again. But in any case, I hope y'all enjoyed. And this is not about which class is best. Nah, they're all the best. Well, when you run out of ideas, end the video. I have been Stutter, you've been watching. Please like if you liked, share if you loved, and Facebook if you hate asphalt. I don't know.